Did you guys know that what's above me there on that shelf, until 2 years ago, were actually banned here in China? In fact, buying, selling, owning video game consoles here in China was illegal. I didn't know, I was oblivious to it. So we're going to go hit the streets and I'm going to tell you all about it. Oh, and stick around to the end of this video to see an unboxing of China's most iconic gaming console. So, what brought this video about? Well, I occasionally do videos about sort of Chinese tech. You may have recently seen that one about the ride-on luggage, which is actually kind of fun. And I was kind of looking around for something that people might find interesting to review, because I know tech videos are not my most popular, but there are some people out there who are interested in, you know, some of the sort of technological things you can get your hands on here. And I came across a 30th anniversary, what they call here a red-white machine, Hongbaiji, which is basically the Chinese knockoff of the Nintendo as we know it overseas, Famicom in Japan, but it's known as the Nintendo Entertainment System overseas. Funny thing is, in South Africa, where I'm from, these are the ones we used to get because of, you know, sanctions against apartheid and all that kind of nonsense. We never got official Nintendo stuff, so we actually had to rely on these Chinese knockoffs from both Taiwan and China back in the day, so I'm quite familiar with these things. So anyway, I saw this thing and I thought, well, hey, I think there'll be some people who are interested in this, and it just got me thinking. But hang on a second, it's 30th anniversary, and this, by the way, pretty much gives a definite date on how long video games have been available here in China, because, you know, before 1987, when these Hongbaijis were sort of introduced, unless people smuggled things in from Hong Kong or whatever, you know, there were no real video game consoles here in China. I mean, of course, computers were available, but again, very scarce. China had a lot of catching up to do because of all the political turmoil. What I'm trying to get at here is we've got 30 years of video game history in China, and of those 30 years, 15, in other words, half of those years, consoles were banned, and that's what I wanted to talk about. See, in the year 2000, consoles were officially banned in China, and the reasoning behind this is that it was corrupting the youth, you know, and getting in the way of their development and their studies and things like that. Well, this has been the argument of parents in every country all over the world, that video games are corrupting their minds, going to turn their eyes square, you know, that kind of nonsense. I had to put up with it, so did everyone else. But in China, the government stepped in and actually said, no, they're banned. You're not allowed to sell them, you're not allowed to buy them, they're illegal. Where am I going? Go this way. So, when I arrived in China in 2006, I was completely unaware of this. Because especially my first days exploring China, I would come across shops selling consoles. They'd be selling, at the time it was PlayStation 2s, PlayStation 1s, various knockoff versions, and of course a lot of pirated software. And that's something that I couldn't really understand, was the fact that you could not buy any original games. Because I've always been a gamer, that's part of who I am. Of course I don't game nearly as much as I used to, because as you grow up, your responsibilities kind of start to take over, and gaming becomes more of a guilty pleasure when you have the time. Anyway, thing is, I couldn't find any original games, and this was quite perturbing to me, because I thought, well, why don't companies sell games in China? I thought it was due to the fact that, you know, piracy is such an issue here, and of course the lack of respect for intellectual property in China. I thought that, you know, companies just said, screw it, it's not worth it, don't sell to China, because they're just going to copy it anyway and we're just going to lose money. But it turns out I was wrong. It's just that they actually had banned consoles, and so they couldn't sell in China. Anyway, like, this changed, like I said, recently, 2015. It changed, and they lifted the console ban, and they started to allow PS4s and Xbox Ones to be sold in China legally. So now you can actually buy these consoles, but the biggest drawback is that the games that they sell for these consoles, they have to be, of course, vetted by the state censorship bureaus and stuff. And a lot of games are deemed unfit for sale in China. Pretty much any war game like Battlefield or, you know, those kind of things, Call of Duty and stuff, I believe they have to be censored or they're just not sold here. And of course the library that's available for sale here in China is actually very small. And we're going to see, because I'm going to go to an electronics store, in fact the same one where I bought my Bose speaker. We're going to see what library of games they actually have available. 只有这些吗？
对
Two.
One, two.
Just two.
No, yeah, just
Okay, just two. Okay, so you get the grand total of One Piece 3 and Final Fantasy 15, I believe, in Chinese. Okay, and for the Xbox One, I can see. You're talking nonsense. There's another one over there. There's some Drive Club one. But this, what you see here, this shelf is the grand total. So Xbox One games, I can see like 5. Just Dance, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Halo, whichever one. Another Romance of the Three Kingdoms derivative, and Final Fantasy. That is it. That is it. So guys, good luck if you're a gamer in China. You got like literally 3 options. Buy the machine, okay? I mean, that's pretty sad. You also do have to understand though that all of the usual things that people access through their Xboxes and through their PlayStations, things like YouTube, Netflix, Spotify, you name it, it's all blocked. So of course they can't sell the machines with that software pre-installed because it's actually blocked here. And I mean, I have a PlayStation 4 which I got from Hong Kong, so it has all those apps on there, but of course none of them work. They cannot connect to the servers, etc. It's frustrating. So yes, if you're going to buy an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 in China, it will be crippled. In other words, you won't be able to connect to an international network. You're not going to be able to install any apps. The Chinese sort of networks are very limited. So yeah, it's still growing, unfortunately. And that's just the reality of games, at least console games here in China. However, when it comes to things like online gaming, League of Legends, things like that, wow, China is way ahead of the rest of the world when it comes to that kind of thing. Probably one of the fastest growing sort of, and probably the most profitable gaming, what would you say, economy in the world. And of course, mobile games, tablets, phones, everybody does it, everybody loves it. And I can I can safely say that China's attitude towards video games in general has definitely lightened up. It's not as frowned upon as it used to be in the past. It's not seen as a big enemy of the state anymore. But as you can see, it still leaves a lot to be desired. And I'm pretty sure that both, Sony and Microsoft have only seen losses and haven't seen any kind of profits here. So let's go unbox that iconic console. The most iconic gaming console in the whole of China. Let's go unbox it. Come on, I'm excited. I don't care about this other stuff. Let's go check that out. And now for the part that, well, I guess a lot of you have been waiting for. I'm going to unbox this 30th anniversary Bully Boy Xiaobao Wang console. Now, 501. I am going to turn it on. We're not going to go through all the games. I'll just pick 1 or 2 so we can see what it's all about. But this is quite quite interesting. Let's see what the console looks like. Right. So what do we have here? We have a list of all 500 games that are on here, and as can be expected, you'll get a lot of duplicates. But either way, like I said, we'll turn it on, take a look later. Okay, now we have the console itself. Okay, it is, wow, it is incredibly light. It literally, you know, I mean, it feels like there's nothing inside of this. In fact, I can see one circuit board there. I'm guessing that is the entire thing. In fact, you know, when we're done with this right at the end, I'll just take it apart. We'll take a look. As you can see, though, it is completely styled after the Japanese Famicom. Yeah, anyway, that's it. Anyone who's familiar with Japanese Famicoms, you know this is just a pretty much a knockoff without the eject thing. Okay, what else do you get in the box? Power adapter. Okay, another cartridge, which just says game cartridge on it. That's all. We'll take a look at that too. And here we go. Joystick. Okay, turbo buttons. D-pad. It feels incredibly cheap, but that's what you would expect. And of course, it's the same color and shape as an old Famicom cartridge. I mean, controller. What am I saying? That's it. One big difference is that, of course, you have to plug the joysticks in here, whereas in the original Famicom, they were, you know, actually part of the machine. That is what you get in the box, ladies and gentlemen. So now I guess what we're going to have to do is plug this thing in, see exactly how it works. All right, now one thing I did not mention, or didn't show you, is, you know, what the thing looks like on the back. It's very, very straightforward. You just got power and your normal AV inputs. That's it. Nothing special. Like I said, incredibly light. It's nothing. Anyway, let's plug it in and let's see what happens. And first, I guess we're just going to put in that colossal 500 in 1 cartridge. There we go. And we're going to power it on and see exactly what's going to happen. Now we're ready to rock. I love that little LED that's sort of just behind the plastic, because I couldn't bother to actually drill a hole to, you know, have a power LED. Anyway, it works. So here we have our menu, our main menu, and it says at the top there, what's it, Bawang Shaozi, it's a bully boy, and well, there we go. Ninja Turtles 1, 2, 3, 4, and I guess you can just go through. Yeah, they've got all these, so many different ones. Okay, let's just choose the first one on the menu here. Take a quick look. Whoa, where am I going? Try Ninja Turtles. Okay. Geku Kame. Well, anyway, it's the Japanese version. Let's get out of here before I get a... No. Let's take a look at something else, shall we? Something random. I'm gonna go through and just grab wait. Random. Check and pop. What is check and pop? Let's take a quick look. Yeah, I remember this nonsense. Anyway, that is the 501 cartridge, guys. Okay. Okay, well, we'll take a look at one more, shall we? Let's see. What's Mario 10? Oh, hang on. I gotta see what Banana Prince is. What is Banana Prince? Dice ist die tropische. Okay. So, interesting. How do you start this thing? Okay, well, Banana Prince is... This is Banana Prince. Okay, I think we've seen enough of this 501 cartridge. Alright, let's give that other cartridge a quick look. Alright. Okay, so this is a 180 in 1, which has Star Luster, F1 Race, Load Runner. Okay, we know these ones, right? A couple. What's Night Arrow? Let's just choose that, and then like Galaga. Yeah, I'd rather go visit the dentist than play that game. Alright, well, you guys get the idea. I'm not going to bore you with going through all these games, but, you know, that's it. That's what you get. So what is there to say about this thing? Well, it's really just been a whole bunch of nostalgia for me, and I guess a lot of you are wondering how much this thing cost. It cost me a grand total of 99 RMB, and I ordered it with the 500-in-1 cartridge. It comes with that 180-in-1 cartridge, but the 500-in-1 cartridge is extra, and then it ends up costing just over 100 RMB, shipped to my door. And that's not a lot of money for a whole lot of nostalgia. Anyway, I hope you guys found this interesting. I certainly did. I love this kind of stuff. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you'd like to see more things similar to this in the future. And if not, tell me why, or tell me to just bugger off and go do something more interesting outside. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. That's all there is to this video. China and gaming is complicated. It's interesting. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching, and as always, you know the drill. Stay awesome.